Well, hello and welcome back to my workbench. It is time once again to try to fix something. And today on the workbench, I have another dead PS5 to take a look at. Um, this one, I think it does beep. Let me read you. I'll read the description. I'll try to put it up on the screen for you when I hopefully edit this later. Um, the console will beep when the eject or power button is pressed, but never turns on. The fan does not spin at all when it beeps. I thought it had the power supply maybe issue, but anyway, swap the power supply, didn't make any difference. After some research, I think it may be a short or blown fuse on the board. So anyway, so yeah, that's what we're doing. Let's give it some power, and we'll just see if that's indeed what it's doing. Power supply is working, I think. And what happens? All right, it didn't. All right, now it beeps with the power button. I don't think I saw any light. It will beep with the eject button, and it will beep with the power button. No light, though, which of course the lights could be disconnected in there. Even has a note on the side of it. Okay, so yeah, it has been opened before, and I bought it this way, no covers. So if I can get it working, I got to come up with some covers, side plates. But we can do that hopefully. But yeah, so we're beeping. We're not totally dead, but that's about all we're doing. So let me get a little further into it. I have gone ahead and removed the board completely from the chassis. And I did notice when I went to take it out, it seemed like the thermal putty was still holding, like it had never been broken loose. So this board may not have ever been fully out of the chassis. Don't know that for sure, but I can hope. But I want to check the current draw right now. Haven't really looked around the board much, but I would like to check the current draw just to see some idea of what it's doing or not doing. So I am set up. Yeah, polarity is right. 28 milliamps. That's an odd one, and hanging there. Seemingly oh, it did finally drop down, but it hung there a long time. 28 milliamps. Peak of 32. That's an odd one. That does not ring any bells in my memory. So, okay, let me get set up. We'll look around the board, see if we can find something shorted. Maybe there's something obvious. So this is an EDM 020. And I don't really see any signs of repair done on it. Nothing. Looking for signs of flux. I'm not seeing any. Just look around the board a second. Maybe there'll be a big giant sign pointing at something. We're in continuity mode. I'm assuming no short on the 5-volt rail. Nope. What about on 3.3? No. 1.15. No. I'm looking around this I see for generating those standby voltages. What about behind the Wi-Fi Bluetooth module? No, that was ground. That was ground also. So we're 200 ohms on that one. And the other one, yeah. So that looks fine. So not that lucky. Not a shorted capacitor on the Wi-Fi Bluetooth module. And this fuse should be good. What about our SSD controller? Had a very low current draw there. Here's the fuse for the power supply into the SSD controller, F7502. And we're open. Wow. F7502 has opened. Okay. So we probably have a short on one of these rails going into the SSD controller. Let's see. Oh yeah, first capacitor I checked there. Let's look under the microscope. If I can get it all set up. Maybe you can see a little bit better. Where I'm checking. So there's F7502, which seems to be totally open, which feeds 5 volts into this area of the SSD controller. Well, the power supply for the SSD controller. And so I'm guessing we have a short. Of course, you should see the short right there. Yes. And right here. So any of these caps look obvious? All 3 of these big ones are on that 5-volt rail. That one over there is also. Nothing obvious looking on them. Look at the other side of the board. I can't remember if there's some on the other side of the board or not. Probably is. Yeah, there's plenty of caps. I want to say, what is it that I've seen short before? I mean, I've had shorts on the SSD controller before. Do you see it? You don't see it there. Is it these small ones right here? I want to say that's where I've seen it before. See it over here as well. Well, see it there, but it'll be 2 ohms away there, so it's on the other side. So, yeah, could be here. Probably, unless I can look at these things at an angle under the microscope. Probably not going to be able to tell. Okay, let's just try looking at them. It can be hard to. Why not? About those small ones right there. Is that a crack in that one, or is that just where I scratched it with my lead? I can't tell. Really hoping it'd be really obvious. Look on the other side again. You know, like just jump out at you. Like that one. Nope. How about this one? No. Okay. Let me get set up. That's going to force me to inject voltage. Man, is that a focus? Going to force me to inject voltage. Let's just solder a wire right to this fuse. How's this sound? I do have my thermal cam charged up, I hope. I used it yesterday. Should still be charged up. All right, I got my second channel on my power supply set for 1 volt at about 1.5 amps right now. This is a pretty low resistance short, so I think she'll stand out. Where is my thermal camera? Wait for it to wake up. Got 40% battery. Maybe we can get it done. Let's just see. Turn it on. Yep. Right over here. Yep. Yeah. It'd help if you could see it, probably. That one right there. Getting rather toasty. Well, that didn't take long. So we know which one it is. Okay. Let's just pop that thing off of there. Find a fuse. Drop my nozzle. So it's one of these large ones. I'm not sure what their value is. I have to look that up. See if I have a new one. Pretty good size. I'm going to say they're going to be at least 10 microfarad. Could be 22s. There's the one. It did not look suspicious. Lots of copper in this area. All right. Let's just confirm. That is our culprit. Yes. Definitely. All right, let me see if I can find out what that is. I could lift one of these other ones. I think what I will do, I think I'll lift one on a donor. I'll lift a donor capacitor. And either use that donor or just use it to get the value of it. We'll grab the one in that exact same spot. Add a little leaded solder to it to encourage it to let go a little quicker. Park it right there a second. So I'm going to cool it off a little and measure it. Use some tweezers here. Well, I'm set for inductors. There's capacitance. Trying to turn it where you can see it. Nope, I just knocked the capacitor loose. 20.55 microfarad. So it's a 22 microfarad. At probably at least 6 volts, maybe 10 volts, if they were smart and wanted a little extra headroom. What is this fuse? 7502, F7502 on an EDM 20 is a 5 amp, size 0402, 5 amp. Let's see in my box of fuses. All right, capacitor and fuse replaced. I got my leads reconnected. Let's try this one more time. Do we draw a little more current this time? Yes, we do. 300 milliamps. Come back down. That looks healthy. That looks normal. I will take that. All right, we're ready to slip this back into a chassis and see what it will do now. All right, we're ready to give this a quick check and just see if it will at least turn on. I did not hook the fan up. Okay, we're not going to leave it on very long for this test. Blue lights. I'm assuming there would be fan spin. Hey, there we go. Look at there. PlayStation logo. All right, so one shorted cap. Rebuild that database. One blown fuse, one shorted cap. Not too bad. All right, let me get this all put back together and we'll give it a final check out. Well, this is a little bit embarrassing. I reassembled this console. I did find some side panels for it. Had it running and testing it. I went ahead and listed it on eBay. It sold, and I boxed it up and shipped it out before I recorded the end of this video. Never done that before. That was a new one for me, but I did. But I do have this picture here that I took, fully assembled, when I was listing on eBay. So this will have to stand in for the final video segment. So I hope you liked that one. Thought it was somewhat interesting, educational, entertaining, any of the above. If you did, please give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you in that very next repair. So long for now.